Deep in the Scottish Highlands, some communities feel forgotten, abandoned and desperate. This is their story.
Kelly boys!
I've always wondered if how much money your parents earn affects your childhood, so I've come to one of the poorest areas in Scotland to find out.
So what's that, mate? Buckfast, yeah?
That's a fucking Kelly party.
When I grew up, there were a lot of youth and sports centres to keep us off the streets. It seems like that's becoming a thing of the past.
What do you want to be when you grow up, man?
That's a hard question. I'm born star when I drug dealer. Actually, that's bad.
Are you in a gang or something?
I'm at K3, boy,
K3.
K3.
Big killy boys, man.
Kelly boys, innit?
Yeah, but you should try hard in school, man.
I get kicked out.
You got kicked out.
That's wee fat cunt.
Selling drugs and still.
Right, that hangs bombing.
Yeah, I'm gonna move that side, mate. I'm gonna move that side. What do you think that is, the police?
It's either the post or a fire engine.
Fucking hell, lads. So do the police bother you a lot, like?
Aye.
Yeah.
It's a fire engine.
Oh, fucking hell. Oi, oi, oi. Do you lads carry anything or no? You don't carry anything?
This is best.
Yeah, man. Good, bro, yeah?
Aye.
Bro, I'm gonna get off. I don't want to fucking deal with the police, man. Safe, yeah? Safe, lads. Dickheads. Just threw a gas bottle. Joke, man. What's going on there, mate? I just walking through, I just seen a fucking big fire, mate.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Bunch of guys just sitting me.
Yeah, fuckeries, man. They're all wearing masks and stuff, mate.
Yeah,
Balaclavas, scary, bro.
They think they're clever, don't they?
Yeah, scary, man. Safe. What's sad about the whole situation is, like, I understand it. They're from this poverty-stricken area. They actually haven't got anything, and they were starting to see me as a target. Like, they wanted the stuff off me. But you don't need to attempt to rob someone. Like, there's better things to do. I was born into a poverty-stricken area, and I try to make these videos. Like, it doesn't give you an excuse to just try and add badness to the world. So if you lads that just tried to rob me are watching this, shame on you, man.
The media have painted a grim picture of life in this town. So I'm here today to see if they're full of crap or not.
What is this area like to live in?
Oh, not bad. Nice Ayrshire, it's nice countryside, little villages.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Do you think it's like a dangerous place?
Oh, they're all dangerous. It's a bad world.
Oh, okay. What's the biggest problem of this town?
Not enough work.
Not enough work.
No.
So if you could improve it.
Yeah, and do more for the youngins instead of letting them run loose.
Yeah.
The youngins are need more to do.
So the youngers a bit crazy here.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Need more to do. It was no mining days. They're all fathers that learnt them. Now they're no caring. They let them run loose.
Oh, okay. So you'd put them back down the mines.
Yeah, get them down the pit.
I personally couldn't live without the luxuries of modern life, but some things in the past were actually better. When my grandparents were growing up, industry in the UK was thriving. Without it now, towns like this are left to rot.
This is my first day doing this. I saw the ladies doing this last week and thought, well done. And then I spoke to them and joined their WhatsApp group.
Okay.
And when you look at areas like this that are covered in litter, it just makes you feel really down. So if we're trying to get more and more people involved to do things like this, hopefully reinstill a bit of pride in where you live.
I don't know what's went wrong.
Yeah.
But I think they should have other people out to do it instead of 74-year-old person.
What would you say like the biggest problem that this community faces?
I think probably deprivation. Maybe people are probably struggling on low incomes, and it's very difficult to think about other things when you're surviving and you're just managing to put food on the table for your kids. So I think, yeah, it's hard to think about litter when you've not got that security of just food and heating. So if everybody just does a wee bit to help, then everybody's going to feel better and maybe create a bit of a sense of a community. But that's a long way. That's a long way off.
What is it like to live in this area, Kilmarnock?
It can be quiet, but as I said, there's no shops. They've shut most of the town centre down now. Everybody's getting hit hard with all the raises, the prices and everything. Because even like the food shops and everything, even they're saying obviously their prices have shot up, so there's a lot of them shut down and all now. What's really left here is drug users mostly. In this town,
What's like the worst thing you've seen happen around here, mate?
around here, well, I've got a big slice down my arm myself. Boys, there's quite a few boys starting to carry like mesh blades with them all the time. They just don't care anymore, they gave up. Yeah. As I said, the police don't go chasing them that much anymore because they don't do like random stopping searches up here. They've gave up with that. So now it's just, obviously you just need to watch your back at every angle really. It's no good, obviously. And you've got to chill, but...
You like slash on the arm, like what was that?
That was a machete, that was just passing through the underpass, got to short leaves with a bunch of boys. Because I was like a wee skater when I was kind of a couple of years ago, man, like, that's all they yanked me. Because I was wearing skinnies, they started slagging me and that. So I turned and goes, "What was that you said?" And he just, machete came out and tried to swipe it and he got me right down my arm. I ended up with 34 stitches across my right arm.
So you just told me a little fact about the drug dealers around here, mate. What was that?
The drug dealers are carrying card readers now to take money for their drugs. Just nobody's got money to afford it anymore, so it's awkward into card touching and paying.
That's a new one to me, drug dealers with card readers.
My visit to Kilmarnock was wrapped up by witnessing a man threatening to kill David.
Fucking move, right? If you don't, if I see you again about here, I'm gonna kill you, right?
But other than that, people of Kilmarnock were genuinely quite friendly. The following day, some friends I'd made, Aidan and Craig, had agreed to show me around one of the most run-down estates in the country.
So I was in Kilmarnock and there was like 14 to 18 year olds having like a fucking party under a bridge.
That's just what happens. This bridge up here is where me and all my school pals used to go and get absolutely mad with it. Like every single day of the week we used to just go up there, sit underneath a bridge and get drunk. Like it was the worst place, but it was so fun.
So I went there and I was filming them having this fire.
Aye.
And then like the fire service come, like all fucking like
Suited and booted and that.
just spraying the hoses and that. And then I kind of got like a little bad feeling, you know, like a
gut feeling.
Yeah, gut feeling, and the lads that was just lurking around then just had like masks on, you know, like balaclavas and that.
Yeah,
and one guy kept like going behind me, like standing behind me.
Very sus.
And I kept like stepping back, and I said to him like, "Oh, you all right, mate? Like what's going on?" And then he'd walk off and stuff, and I was like, "I've got to get out of here."
Yeah, before something does happen.
Feels dodgy. So when the fire engine turns up, I use it as a cue to get out, like, and I start walking quickly, and then they fucking start throwing glass bottles at me, man.
Fuck off.
Yeah, start throwing glass bottles at me. So I'm like, if I'd have stayed there any longer, they probably would have robbed me, man.
I'd say, see the schemes in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
They're a lot worse now than Glasgow was.
Oh, okay.
So if you're wanting to actually experience like still Ned culture, bounce to Edinburgh because you will experience it.
And so like I heard Ned, like if someone was saying non-educated delinquent. But like is it more like deep than that, like it's like gang culture or something?
Low key, but like not really. It's like you see someone non-educated delinquent, it's just the people that are hanging about doing antisocial sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And not all of them are non-educated, right enough, right? It's just the word that's been used is Ned.
Okay.
But it's more just like your troublemakers and BAMs, innit?
Young teams.
Young teams.
So it is sad though to think like, you know, the lack of housing as well.
And these could be put to use, but
man, like
especially for people like me as well. Like I've been looking for a house for months. That's probably like 8-9 months I've been on the waiting list.
Yeah.
Nothing get her back. But if these were still up and running, I could have got one of these like that.
Yeah, man.
It's not as if they're all fucking ruined.
Oh, they are, mate. How long does this go on for? There's more rolls down there.
Missions.
So it's just a big curvish
no,
kind
man.
of thing. It's kind of...
This is insane, man. How many houses do you lads think there's around here, like?
What, abandoned or in total?
Abandoned, like?
Good few hundred.
No quite, like
100.
80 odd give or take.
80 odd houses.
That's not including upstairs and downstairs because
They're separate.
they're separated here.
Oh, so they used to be like flats, yeah.
Yeah, like,
Aye, so it's like one would have downstairs, one would have upstairs.
Yeah.
aye, that's the closest anybody stays, that house over there.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, it is genuinely right next to houses
Yeah.
that people still stay in.
So do people like avoid walking through this like estate at night or?
Probably not anymore.
Yeah, if people, like, see the people that stay in Fiji, probably not, because like we're used to it.
Yeah.
But if you're coming through, like from Linwood, where he stays, through Fiji into Paisley, I don't imagine any of them would even want to touch it.
Because all the schemes don't get along either, so it's like, see, people from Linwood wouldn't like get along with people for Fiji wouldn't get along with people for Johnston.
Shortridge as well.
Yeah, so it's like all the different schemes have their own young team, and that's like all the different schemes these Neds fight each other.
Yeah. So like it's similar to like English gang culture.
Yeah, it's like the man dem, innit?
Yeah. Cause I went to like Postle Park.
Postle Park,
yeah. And
we walked around this puddle.
Yeah. And there was like there was a vigil.
Aye.
You know, for like a young lad, and I just wondered if he'd been involved in any stuff like that.
Gang
you know?
culture, it's a really bad thing with teenagers, especially. Well, the generation younger than us have started picking it up a wee bit more.
Yeah.
But that's just because they are trying to be like Neds compared to where it used to be, like the generation before us.
Yeah.
Whereas they actually all fucking hated each other's guts. Like,
aye.
They had no reason to hate each other's guts.
Other than the fact that it was
they stayed other places.
Yeah.
And that was the only reason they didn't like each other.
In Paisley it was postcodes as well.
Aye,
See,
postcode
Paisley and Glasgow,
Yeah.
it's instead of all the schemes, it's all the different postcodes who all fight each other. Just because.
Where I'm from, that's what it is as well.
Yeah, it's postcode wars, man.
Yeah.
Then also the ice cream wars, that was a thing like the 80s and 90s.
Ice cream wars.
Yeah, it was about the ice cream vans, and the ice cream vans were drug dealing behind counter.
Aye, they
it
were
was
owned
like,
by the gangsters.
Aye, the gangs owned the ice cream vans, and so they're like gangsters would used to pan in other ice
They'd
cream
shoot
vans
them up
windows.
as well. See,
Yeah.
my uncle used to do an ice cream van.
Aye.
And fucking my dad was covering for him one day, and as he was going into the shift, he was like, "There's fucking bullet holes in the van. I'm not doing this."
Aye.
Fucking hell.
Aye,
Bullet holes in his ice
in the
cream
ice cream
van.
van.
Like you used to get them Molotoved and everything.
Oh, dear.
Shotgunned.
Because everyone just assumes you're like drug dealing out of
No,
it.
they were.
Like,
They actually were.
Every one of them.
Oh, okay.
Then if you went to a scheme that wasn't the scheme your ice cream van was in, there's no chance you're making it back out. Like,
Aye, because you're dealing on other people's turf. It's
bloody hell.
not anymore, right? But this was like 80s and 90s type shit.
I think that's the most interesting thing I've learnt today. So like, if in the 90s, early 2000s, you went to an ice cream van around here,
you could probably score.
Buy some smack.
Aye.
I want a 99p smack, mate.
As night approached, I said bye to my friends and took some time away in nature to prepare for the final visit of my trip.
I can't believe that this is the same place as what you just seen earlier. You know, the ghost town and stuff. Wow. So I'm just on the train there now. Had a bit of a rough night on the push, as you do in Glasgow, and I'm going to my final stop of the trip, a place called Port Glasgow, and I heard that there's 3 apartment buildings or like high-rise towers where it's just full of squatters, so they're all like living illegally.
There's a big
massive
like,
estate.
tenements,
Yeah.
and it's just hundreds of tenements, and they're all abandoned. They'll be filled.
It's like a whole estate is abandoned. People still live in them, and there's a lot of trap houses and stuff.
So it's like squatters as well.
Yeah, there's squatters, there's bandos, there's everything, man. Like you can just walk in as well, so you could actually just go and video stuff. Just be careful.
Yeah.
See if there's a door that's locked, don't unlock it.
Oh, okay.
And
Watch your feet as well.
Yeah, needles and shit.
Yeah, man. So I've just arrived at the Heron Heights, which allegedly a lot of people are squatting in, and honestly it looks terrifying. Honestly, this is sketchy, man. And it's a huge compound of all these flats where people are squatting. But even the shops, mate, even the shops abandoned. It's like this town, this like apartment complex has just been forgotten, like. Okay, so I've just found a way in, man. I don't really know what to do, mate. I'm fucking shitting it, mate. And like, have you ever had that feeling in life where like you feel like being watched, but you don't know where from? I got that feeling the whole time. Dave? John? Dave? Hello? 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 Obviously someone was living in there, and there's still the like alarm thing going off. Proper strange, and the fact that like the door is just open, wide open.
Just make sure you're all right.
Yeah. I was just wondering, what happened to all these buildings?
Oh, well, long story. Right, long story. First of all, be very careful when you're in there. You shouldn't be in them because they're dangerous. But
Okay.
you're an adult, so I can't stop you going in there.
Yeah. Is there people living in there?
There are 4 families that still live in these houses. But
Okay.
The whole area has been left like this, as you can see.
And they're squatting in there.
No, they're not squatting.
Okay.
Because there's a mixture of private owners and council own these buildings. So
Okay.
the private owners rent them out.
Yeah.
And those houses are still livable.
Okay.
But the rest of them you see.
And they still choose to live here even though they're like dangerous stuff like.
Still choose to live here, you know. So our job is to make sure people aren't really inside them because it's dangerous. You've seen it yourself. People are going to kill themselves in there. It's so bad it gets set on fire. The vandalism, the youth. So that's kind of our job. That's why we're here.
And was people squatting in there before? Because that's what I've been told.
There
Like
has been people like maybe
there's a lot of lies.
A lot of lies going about.
This place. It isn't full of drug dealers. It
Yeah.
isn't full of gangs.
Okay.
It's just people who, like these people here,
I've stayed there for years.
They've been here that long. This is their home. They might even own it.
Yeah.
Because this is practically, if there's 400 houses here, 200 of them are private.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, a council own half the houses here, or just over half. The rest are all private houses, so they're all waiting to sell them.
Yeah.
Or waiting for the council to make a good deal to buy them.
I couldn't imagine living with the fear of burning alive, having my windows smashed or being broken into, all because the council are not willing to pay me what my property is worth.
I'm not saying it's the children doing it, but these are going on fire 2 or 3 times a week. You know,
Okay.
And it's going to take that one time that they set on fire and somebody's stuck.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Or it sets the other flats on fire.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
that's the worry. So we check this maybe 4 or 5 times a day. There's 2 families in the last one. There's one down there, and then down 18 like on the left hand side. There's people staying in there. But apart from that, the place is empty.
Hiya, I'm making a documentary. I just wondered if you'd want to chat about why you don't want to leave the flat. I'm making a documentary.
Not interested.
Oh, okay.
You're not listening, can you get fuck off?
I'm knocking on the other doors, mate.
It doesn't matter, just fuck off.
I'm from the media.
Nobody wants you in the building, fuck off.
The what?
Just fuck off. Get up.
Oh, all right, mate.
Yes, yeah.
Wow. It's a shame.
Looking back on my time in Scotland,
Fuck Butcher Hill, man. Fuck Butcher Hill. Fuck Butcher Hill, man.
Kill him, boy.
Man, heavy statement.
It's giant. The best day ever.
I have to admire the strength of the people. What struck me the most was that for many here, suffering isn't a choice. It's the circumstances handed down through generations. One afternoon in Paisley, I had the pleasure to speak with two gentlemen who had seen Scotland change over the past 60 or so years.
Virtually every major industry that this place had is gone.
Absolutely.
And Kilmarnock will be the same, and I'll bet you go down south, most of your cities all over the place.
Yeah, Durham.
It's the same.
Have a look at Durham.
They're just wiped out completely. Decent, valuable jobs. So people don't have hope. They don't have hope. They've got nothing to lose behaving badly. Nothing to lose. Why? What are they going to do to me? You know, what are you going to do? You're going to lift me. You know what I mean? Back in our days, you would be worried about getting lifted because you think, if I get that mark, I'm not going to get to where I want to get out of the type of employment I'm in.
Well,
and we did this.
Traditionally, amongst the working class, education was the road out. Education was the road out.
It was for us.
You would go to night school. You could have a labouring job, but if you could go to night school, you could study, and from that gain certificates and move on.
Yeah.
We have a college down the road there that doesn't offer any night classes, neither for recreation nor for self-advancement.
And I don't think the uni does either now.
I don't
think the uni does either.
That's a scandal. It's a scandal.
Public scandal, and that all comes down to lack of investment.
Lack of investment.
Lack of investment by government.
Yeah.
We live in a wealthy country. I mean, let's face it, we're not living in a country that's poor. We're one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Over the period of COVID, the wealthy have got wealthier. Hugely. I mean, these are not just my numbers. Go to the ONS, you'll see it. Stacks of figures where the rich will get richer and richer.
Yeah, I think,
and how do they do that? They do that at the expense of the poorer.
I think that's part of the reason for the youth being upset, because they're no silly. You don't have to be, highly educated to know when you're being shafted.
Yeah.
And they look at the people that run society today, and they realise these people don't care for us one iota. Why should we care for them and their institutions? F them. That's basically it.